Thank you for your patience, and thank you for letting us set up literally every microphone we have. As we've got the whole
literally everyone. Your one looks like a little mini ice cream.
Yeah, I brought it as a joke almost, and then I was like, wait a minute. As soon as they confirmed that you guys are going to be here, I'm like, oh, I don't have enough microphones for this. It's going to be all of them, right? Always, all of you, it seems. You guys do pretty much everything together, right?
Yeah.
Just about, yeah.
Just everything bar go to the toilet.
Pack mentality kind of thing.
You guys all live together, is that correct? I saw the Apple Music interview in HQ. Is that just where you record, or do you guys
Essentially, we kind of just live either these days in the sky or on the motorway.
That's true.
Together, yeah. We've done a lot of flying in the last month, yeah.
Very poetic.
Oh, well, listen, I'm full of it.
A lot of driving, a lot of flying, a lot of touring in general. I've liked that. Something that I've heard from pretty much all of you guys is like more important than having like any musical accolades is when somebody calls you like one of the hardest working bands that they can hear of. And it's so true. I mean, you guys have played, this will be your, I counted earlier, 85th show of 2023 in just a couple of minutes.
I
thought it was more than that.
I thought it was less. I think we thought it was on. We were in the 70s, so there you go.
Yeah.
I think because music's so subjective, you're never going to be the best band in the world because it's different for every person. But one thing we can control is how much we work and how much gigs we do, so we like to put a lot of effort in.
Sure, yeah. You're wrapping up 85 of those shows. Most of them have been in the United States, I think?
Yeah, I think so.
Closer to home, out to Europe here in like a few days as your time in the States starts to wrap up on this headlining tour. Any key takeaways?
We love it over here, yeah. It still manages to have that excitement because we've come to a lot of places in Europe so many times touring. We've kind of gotten used to it, whereas we're still getting to new places in America all the time. Like, this is our first time in Louisville, Kentucky, so...
Not to try to teach you anything.
Louisville.
Right, yeah, I was gonna ask. I think with your Irish accents and charm, they'll forgive you. In a way that they probably won't forgive me. We'll probably have people from Louisville commenting on this and saying like, "You're saying it wrong. You're teaching them the wrong way."
It's because
I remembered it.
Yeah.
As you did that, I was like,
Yesterday, just about everybody got up there and was like, "Louisville," and we're like, "Oh man."
You see, our keyboard player is called Louis, so we kind of just seeped into us accidentally. He was saying that he picked up some Uber Eats yesterday and his name is spelled the same as Louisville, but the guy still went Lewis, and he's like, really?
I find that like the lazier that you can be as you say it is typically
Louisville. Okay.
Louisville. We'll do that on stage later.
Yeah. Anything I can do to help.
Louisville.
Yeah, channel Elvis, like pure Elvis on it.
Yeah, Louisville.
Perfect. Well, we are here in Louisville, Kentucky at Bourbon and Beyond Music Festival. I want to ask you, though, about Mexico City. You just played there a couple of nights ago, and I need to know who made the sombreros.
They were given to us by our fans. I don't know where or how it started, but through touring America loads, our fans sort of decided to make us loads of cowboy hats, and that obviously seeped its way down into Mexico, and they like custom make them themselves, which is kind of crazy, and they would always just throw them up on stage during the gig. But yeah, that was our third time in Mexico, but our first headline show, and third song in, the floor started breaking, and so we had to just tell everybody for the rest of the gig, you can't jump up and down. I'm sorry. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Some people couldn't help themselves though; they were still jumping. Yeah,
that happened to. We talked to Genesis Owusu a number of months ago, and that happened to him. Like in Australia, the floor actually caved in, and like nobody got hurt or anything, but they had to stop the show and say, "Oh, sorry, we did 3 songs. We got to come back some other time because there's a hole in the floor."
It's crazy. Yeah. I mean, it happens more than you think as well. I mean, it happened to us in Detroit. We had to change the venue because the floor broke for Baby Keem, which is understandable.
Yeah, I guess so.
We need to get to that stage because it's a better story if the floor actually breaks. Not for people's health.
That's true.
At every show.
Actually, maybe not. The health hazard part of it isn't a great idea. So.
I guess so. I don't think we're near any like major fault lines here. We can't like cause anything.
I hope not.
We could sure give it a try. That is one crazy thing that's happened at one of your shows. I'd like to bring up maybe some old news because I don't think I've seen anybody ask you about it. It was 2021 and you were playing a show in, I believe, Bristol. Eli, you turn around to Ryan and you go, no, stop. No fighting in this show.
Oh, yeah.
During Ice Cream Sunday of all songs.
Yeah, I know.
Of all songs.
It was just, they must have been there with their girlfriends or something, I don't know, and they just didn't know the music and they started fighting.
I remember that, and you were just like to them, come on lads, it's just a pop song or something.
It's just a bizarre song choice to fight to. It was quite comical, to be honest.
It's like our friendliest song.
We don't get that a lot though. That's
The most mental thing we've probably seen at one of our shows is we were playing, we looked out into the crowd, and above the crowd's heads was a wheelchair.
there was a person in the wheelchair?
No, just a wheelchair, just bouncing up and down in the air. It was the most mental
Like
thing
being
I've ever
crowd
seen.
surfed, but it was an empty wheelchair, so we don't know what happened to the person.
But no one beat him up though. Don't make it sound like it was a fight. I think the guy was okay.
There's a John Mulaney bit about this in one of his stand-ups where it's like, you see an empty wheelchair and you're like, well, I hope it was a miracle. You never really know for sure. Well, that's good. Well, hey, before I let you go, I do want to ask if you can educate my naive American brain as to a special show that you have coming up. I saw that you posted about this one coming up in Blackpool at the Empress Ballroom, and people are freaking out about it.
Yeah. Well, for us, we've only been there once. It was to support a band called the Cortiners. I don't know. It was just a very Northern English. We're big fans of like all like Stone Roses and the Smiths and all that kind of thing. And it was like one of our first big shows that we supported at, and the Coral were playing. It was a day that we haven't forgot, and so to go back and do it ourselves is great. It's got like a springy floorboard. It's perfect. Hopefully, if the floor breaks there, I mean,
Good luck on that quest.
Thank you.
To break the floor. Oh, you mentioned the Stone Roses. I know the Stone Roses have been an influence for you forever. You've been making music for over 10 years. As we sit here, I mean, these guys are like unequivocally cool. Like, you don't have to pretend that you're not.
We said the same about you. I was like, there's a man who can actually grow a mullet.
Yeah, thank you. I'll trim that. That'll be the only like social media clip that I post.
No, don't trim. Don't trim the mullet, man.
Ah, very good.
Keep it long, bro. Keep it long.
But I bring all this up to say that at the very beginning, you guys didn't see yourself that way. You said that it started out as like people thought of you as like kind of nerds.
Oh,
I don't understand.
We still are, kind of, yeah. It's all a
You don't want to
facade.
know what we talk about behind closed doors. I promise you, we're still the same.
I was
people.
saying the other day, if anyone knew just how boring we were behind closed doors, we would have we'd have
Yeah,
no
we're not meant
fans.
to tell people. But nerds is a good word that we still are, because even with music, we're nerdy about things and we care about the details, and I think that's why we don't really go out and get wasted or take the piss. We kind of take things seriously because we're pretty, I don't know, I think we're pretty addicted to this lifestyle in terms of like making music and touring, and I wouldn't say we're cool in any way. I just think we've been together so long and we've been with each other so long that we're comfortable, and I feel like when people are comfortable, it kind of gives off the right energy, I suppose.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. One of the hardest working bands in the world, Inhaler here. One final question. 10 years on, more than, after making music, I read a couple of months ago, you were quoted as saying that you guys still feel like you're just getting started.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I want to know if that's still true.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, hopefully we always feel that way. I mean, that's the kind of the thing that keeps us going, is we always want to reinvent ourselves. And yeah, we feel good. We feel, we're not too tired yet. We're keeping on.
Nice, that's great to hear. Inhaler, thanks again for your time. Have fun out there. We'll see you soon.
Cheers.
Thanks, man.